Hello, what is happening, my ladies and my gentlemen, and welcome to the last game of the lower bracket finals of this Summit 3. We got ViCi Gaming versus EG, and there's a lot of at stake here. It's basically whoever loses this game is out of the Summit, and whoever wins it will be going up against the good old Team Secret in the LAN finals. As that is one hell of a Tidehunter. Wow. Meow. I see. Okay, fair enough. Just gonna be checking out some effigies here for starters. That is some relatively neat ones. I've actually seen that one before by Super. But regardless, we will be having these two teams clash off in one hell of a game here. As we got EG, we're gonna be having Fear on the Bristleback, safe lane Bristleback. As Somali will be hitting mid with that Shadow Fiend. PPD will probably be maybe actually watching over the Clockwork here. It's a very, very good matchup in and of itself. Because you can basically grave the Clockwork in case he gets into trouble or whenever he cogs, just to make sure that he gets the entire duration off. And if he's jumping onto somebody like Hal or let's just say Lena Fenrir, he should be very much able to stay alive, or even the Dragon Knight, because they have no way of countering out the grave. But regardless, EG looks like they want to contest that bottom room, but that's probably a bit of a bad idea because ViCi, they're rotating in, and they're actually going to be taking themselves both bounty runes here. That is a pretty damn good start, getting one step closer to Super's bottle here, as they're looking to run a try-off lane here with How, FY, and Fenrir. Gonna just be just be sitting down here, chilling out. How, relatively good. This is a matchup I do very much expect ViCi to win, cause it's 2-ranged or 3-ranged versus 2-ranged, and Fear, he's gonna be having a tough time down there, and they should be able to lock him down relatively nicely. Rubik and Lena both can afford to be rather aggressive here. PPD taking half of his health and damage, cause they got two stuns, and really, EG at this point down this lane, they only have one, so they're really relying on the Lion in case they get ganked. Looks like they will be blocking out the camp here, stunning out, so no pulse. And maybe they'll want to contest this. They do have the better early fight because they have the telekinesis and the light strike array. Plus, yeah, House skills flat cannon, but as soon as he starts putting points in a rocket barrage, he should be able to almost solo anyone on this team so far. Universe will be going up against Ice here up in the top lane, the Brood versus the Clockwork. I do very much expect Brood to win this, just because it is a Brood Mother. She's going to be dominating this lane so bad, and Clockwork really doesn't have a whole lot of a solution for her. Of course, he can cog the creep waves back, but that's also about it. On the mid lane, Super versus Somali, the Shadow Fiend up against the Dragon Knight. This should be a fairly close one, but with a slight favor to the Shadow Fiend. Once he starts building up into the souls, he should be able to deal with Super rather well. Like, his damage is just not going to be enough, or his tankiness. But it's not kill potential for either. Of course, if Super gets the stun off, he could try to do some damage to Somali, but just the amount of mana that the stun costs is just going to drop him so low on mana that he's almost he has to have full mana pool before he can pop the Dragon Tail and the Brief Fire right afterwards. And if he starts to bottle, then he's wasting precious time. But yeah, Somali looks like he's fairly confident in this lane, and he's got a 15 souls built up so far, so is sitting relatively comfortably here. Okay, I'm not entirely sure actually I played him, but regardless. Universe actually doing rather well up on the top lane. He's outfarming Ice for now. He does have he is relatively tanky right off the bat, and with a stout shield to boot, the little spiderlings ain't gonna do much to him. And he's actually sitting rather well here, very, very comfortably. Though down the bottom lane, How, he's just farming away like no tomorrow, basically. He's got the boots, he's got a magic wand, and the Blades of Attack within 3 minutes. So it looks like he's working his way towards the Blades of Attack, or the second Blade of Attack, which is in turn going to work into a pair of Phase Boots. That was one hell of a difficult pull out. Not, no, they must have had a camp there as well. Looks like, yeah, they have actually just dewarded everything. Every last bit of it. As ViCi, they did have a ward down there. I'm not really sure what rotations they're looking out for, or if they just tried to scout out that observer ward right there. But regardless, both teams not really showing a whole lot of aggression, and they're very, very late game minded to both. They do have the Rubik lift into the Lina Light Striker Ray Dragon Slave, but the follow-up out from EG is just going to be too much. They have to catch out Aoi with PPD, but PPD, he already got Grave, so whoever gets lifted, he's just going to grave him up, and even if it's himself, the follow-up out from Aoi with both the Hex and the Earth Spike, very, very aware of this potential EG aggression. He can just shut that down completely. Like, Earth Spike one, Hex the other, and then that's an entirely different fight. And Universe up on top, he's not able to rotate until he hits that level 6 and can start hook-shotting about. And Shadow Fiend Somali, he needs to find a haste rune before he can really do anything. Like, at this point, he's just not fast enough in the rotations. And not really able to catch up. But he's sitting comfortably on the mid lane, he's getting some good form. Ice has accelerated up on top, so he's up to 19 last hits now. Has found the Soul Ring, which enables him to farm a lot faster, just get more Spiderlings out there. And Hao's going to be contesting a stack. Got about 20 last hits so far, so looking pretty damn confident as well. That's mid Somali. Cleaning up creeps, rotating into the woods now that the lane is pushed out. And GK, aka Super, still botting Crone here. They've run this Dragon Knight a lot, and it's kind of been a bit of a hit and miss. Like, it's not been absolutely incredible, but it's not been super bad either. Has only gone 1 point into Dragon Spot. Of course, it doesn't scale all that well in terms of armor. It does, but regen, not only really good in the first level. FY has rotated down towards that mid lane, so they might be looking for a pickup on the Shadow Fiend. They do have a very, very long stun lock, and they have Super Zelda Dragons, so damage is going to be pretty damn good. And looks like he's actually rotating in for Nope, not really. FY, is he going to be going for the lift? Is not close enough. So, wasted rotation there, and that created some space down the bottom lane for Fear to get a couple of last hits. Has actually caught up to Hao because of that, and Hao has only found a bounty rune. Whereas Universe got invisibility. Not really going to matter, I think, as the hook shot is not available just yet. Actually very, very close too, so could be starting to rotate. Once he gets that up and online, he can jump right on top of the Lina and try to disable her for the fight duration. Or the Rubik, for that matter. Of course, Rubik could just lift him out. FY, he's still sitting there. So we do have Mr. Somali sitting on about, yeah, a bit on the power treads. He is, of course, sitting on the most, seeing the fact that, like, the last hit graph is not too different from the last hits. Or the net worth is not too different from the last hits. Because no kills, no bloods have been spilled yet. As Universe is rotating on the mid, it looks like they want to go for something here. I don't think they saw him go down here. There goes the Cogs. Super, he's in a lot of trouble. It's going to lift Universe right out of the Cogs. And that's the Rubik counter. And Super, I don't think he'll drop, but it's going to force out a rotation out from Hao, creating space for Fear down the bottom lane. But of course, they're going to be giving that space up top for Brood, as Aoi's going to be rotating back in to try to prevent the Mother from getting too much. There goes the scout out. Still has a hook shot available. Can actually go for it. It's going to hook right in. And they got the Cogs off. Ice. He is going to be so dead. Fear even rotating in. They want to get this kill, and there it is. Aoi taking first blood. And that's the dangerous bit about being a Brood Mother up against the Clockwork. It's actually a neat little counter with the hook shot. As rotations down on bottom lane, FY, Super, and Hao, they're looking for something that isn't there, because the entirety of the EG team, they rotated top, except for Somali. Could just be rotating down to try to help out Fenrir here to bring down the tower. Try to trade first blood for tier 1 as Super, hitting the Elder Dragon form as well, but it's just creating space for Somali currently. Have planted a very, very aggressive laning ward here. Scout any rotations. So FY going back to mid. Universe working his way towards that bottom lane as well. He is almost getting followed up by PPD here. But it is going to be a bottom tower for first blood. And top tower has dropped as well, so currently net worth is going very much the way of EG. Actually, EG, I thought ViCi would have gone there, but of course the first blood gave him quite a lot in experience. Likewise, it's actually going the way of EG right now. But then again, Fear, he's caught out relatively nicely. Hao has kind of stopped farming. Has been wasting his a lot of rotations here with the town portal scroll rotations, and EG taking up, not EG, Fear taking up the top lane as Universe is going to be working its way down towards bottom, and looks like Ice is rotated with it. PPD. He's getting harassed here by the Spiderlings. Maybe now it's Universe turn. He's just going to shack it off with the Stout Shield. There's not a whole lot of damage in these little minions here. Let's see. Yeah, basically melee damage block. He's going to be taking 2 damage from pretty much each of them, which he's basically regenerating through at this point with the triangles. Of course, they're on cooldown, but that's got to be so annoying. Just constantly taking damage and not actually able to get your triangles off. Top lane, Aoi is sitting solo up there up against Hao and FY. I don't think he actually saw any of them. As Ice is de-warding for now. Gonna try to make that jungle a lot more comfortable for him. Somali is being backed up by Universe here. They could try to go on to Super. PPD is nearby, and Super, I mean, he's got the, he's of course got the Dragon's Blood, but he's not the strongest of heroes up against gank like this. Oh god, Dragon Tail scales so badly. Oh, that is painful. Really only worth getting 1 point into it. Just maxing out pre-fire, get that damage reduction in, plus the damage, and then just start working into Dragon's Blood. You really only need 1 point into Dragon's Tail. Until you, of course, hit level 11. Then you can start working more points into it. Because you don't get it for the damage, you get it for the stun, which increases by 0.25 seconds. Universe and PPD, they're smoked up here. Think Super knows something is up. He's rotating back, like way back underneath his own tier 2. He's going to create some space for Somali here. He could get some damage done to the tower, but it looks like he wants to rotate uphill. Then where are the wards? I think they might have actually smoked on the ward. As Lina is going to be found here by the Clockwork, and she's going to be going down, no question about it. EG taking kill number 2. Somali is going to get stunned up, but does manage to pick up the kill here as a lot of rotations. FY, he's looking for somebody, not going to find anyone. And Somali got the Yule Scepter going for him now, so he's sitting pretty damn comfortably in this game so far. 1 kill, pretty much 10 last hits a minute, and Yule Scepter as well. Super is not in a good spot right now. He is taking damage from the tower, but EG, they could punish this quite bad. Ice though, he's sitting nearby, so in case it all goes to hell, they could try to jump him in. Right now, EG, they don't have good initiation without the Clockwork hookshot in. Somali is going to get the denial. That can't be satisfied for, or yeah, that can't really satisfy ViCi. All that for his tower deny. Aoi is getting some quite good farm on the line. He's actually caught up to the Dragon Knight, who's basically just slowed to a crawl. Barely has. Yeah, his GPM is not very good. It is better than Fierce though, but I mean, Fear currently he's sitting on a Vanguard. He's basically where he wants to be right now. As Ice there, no, he's sitting in there inside the jungle, and it's just free farm for Somali. Ice. He's sitting on 81 last hits, 1 death, and closing in on an Orc kit. Very, very aggressive item. Not as much about the split pushing as one would hope, but should be working out for him relatively well. Top lane, top tower has fallen a bit of a while ago. So ViCi currently kings of the push, and no big surprise there. They got the The Flat Cannon, Rocket Barrage, Dragonite, Brief Fire. You got Lina as well, who's very, very fast at cleaning up creep waves. And you got the Broodmother. It's like the queen of pushes. Universe might go for the hookshot. How? Right on the edge of that Herb Spike. And hookshot in. Universe is going to be bringing him down, so no can do help, but nice steal out from FY. He has a finger available. Damage 600. This is going to be rotating right back on the mid. Fear, they're going to be taking down the Dragonite, but it is going to be at the cost of Somali. Now Fear, he's going for FY. He should be finding him. It's going to be diving super deep. One more Quill Spray, not going to be enough. Fear, he's chasing through though. He only needs one. And there it is. Fear going to be taking that kill. So a 3-for-1, 2-for-1 exchange on the middle lane. And ViCi finding their first kill. This looks a lot like game number 1 or game number 2, where it was exactly the other way around. Shadow Fiend. He's got a Blink Dagger as well. So one of the most, maybe the most mobile hero currently is the Shadow Fiend. Blink Dagger, Yules. Doesn't really care too much about damage. That's going to be, that portion of it's going to be arriving later. And you're really relying a lot more on your Requiem when you get the Yule Scepter. A lot more of a teamfight oriented lineup. Or pickup. Fear working its way towards the extra magic resistance out from the that you get from the Hood of Defiance, and I'm gonna be possibly turning that, very much actually turning that into a pipe. I think he could also be going for the Glimmer Cape, which would not be half that bad considering the fact that you have somebody like Universe who's gonna be trapped inside of his own cogs for a good little while. So he could just pop that straight onto him, and that would save him of some of the damage coming out from FY. Or not FY, how? FY a bit as well. Depends on what he steals. But yeah, mid lane, Universe has the hookshot backup unavailable, and ViCi looks... They're not going to contest the tier 3s or tier 2s just yet. They're going to hold up, try to find somebody else. They know that's probably a Clockwork Illusion. No, they don't. They're going to commit everything on it. Super's ultimate as well. And Ice ulti. This would very much be the time to fight for EG, but looks like they won't. They're just going to try to contest the top tower. Going to trade it for the bottom lane. Fear's in there as well. He's actually going quite deep towards How. There goes the stun. Hookshot in as well. Universe going to be trapping out Fenrir. It's going to be quite bad if they lose the Lina. Dragon Slave. There goes the ultimate out from How, but it's not really going to do anything, and the Lina's going to get brought down. In the meantime, Somali, he's pushing in top lane. This is not looking good for ViCi so far. They're having trouble coping with the EG, and Fear just so tanky. Doing exactly what he needed to do that fight. Just sit in front, take all the initial damage, and then let Clockwork reinitiate. Ah, PPD. Hold on, I haven't seen that pose. Like, this is just not exactly boredom, but that's pretty damn cool, Somali. That is pretty damn neat. And of course, flexion. Yep, that's Universe's Starks here. Alright, we got a game to attend to. I'm very sorry. But yeah, Fear. It's got the Sanj. What form? That's probably, maybe actually going to be a Halberd. Could actually very much be a Halberd here. Sometimes you would go for the SNY, but I'm thinking Halberd in this case. Just because you need some way of shutting down house damage. And likewise with the Broodmother. You need some way of shutting it down. And it's a good way to try to remove that, some of the iteration of the hunger to try to bring down Ice by getting the Heaven's Halberd. Oh, Somali. That's only the races, not really a problem. Of course it hurts a bit, but not really an issue. I'm not even sure about the range on this one. Oh, there he goes. Aoi is going to get caught out, or is going to catch out How, and he's going to drop. FY, is he going to be that lucky? Yes, he is. Very, very close to getting brought down here. That's How. Wow. That was a good initiation up by Aoi there. They're looking super confident. And ISI is even gonna get caught down on bottom lane. This is looking very much actually like game 1 now, where EG, they basically dominated ViCi. This is not even a close game at this point. Like, if you just take a look at the graphs here, you already got like 5k ahead, or a bit more than that, a bit more than 5k, and 7.5 in terms of the experience. Wow. ViCi, what they can do, try to fight. You really want to utilize the cooldown to its max potential, and Super, well, he's not really doing all that good as of right now. But yeah, you really need to try to take a good team fight, try to disable some of the most important carries, and just stall Fear. You're just going to make sure that he doesn't have an impact in the fight. He's going to go for the SNY. Alright. I was hoping for Heaven's Halberd. It would have made a lot of sense. But then again, you know, they have disable. They have a way. But I would have kind of liked it as well because of the mischance. And it's very, very unlikely that this Broodmother will get the MKB. It's very likely that Hao would have gotten the MKB, but Broodmother wouldn't. But it is going to make Fear a lot tankier and a lot more mobile. Which is exactly what he needs. Like, he needs mobility, because he's the easiest one to kite.
Boom, there it goes.
It's FY. Still only sitting on that raise. I'm really, really wondering, like, how it actually works. It's the short one, I think. Yeah, he's got the short raise.
Dire structures are fortified.
Or is that the... No, that's the medium raise, I think. Mid lane, ISI size. Looks like he wants to have a crack at the middle lane tower. As the rotations are going to be coming in, they're going to catch him out. Universe going to trap him inside the Cox as well. There's no escape in ISI size. Hook shot in as well to try to just chain stun him up and down to the bottom lane. Dragon Knight is going to get caught, and the Rec Room is just going to be right off the mark. PPD is in trouble. He's going to be rotating into the woods, has no way of escaping. Fear on the other side of the fight. They have brought down Hao, and he wants to chase. It's going to get stunned up by Super, and Somali blinking to the left. And they could just rotate out right now. They could just get out, like, no problem. They've taken down the Broodmother in the middle lane, and they've taken out Hao on the bottom lane. So they're very much in a position where they would very much like to be right now. Don't even need the tower. That's going to be there later. They just need to get out alive without casualties and just starve ViCi out. She do have Dazzle. For the wards, basically. This has actually been a very, very good PPD Dazzle so far. Has not been participating in a whole lot of kills. The Weave has come out not too long ago, but it's been able to get off a couple of good graves, and Fear is now just going to be rotating right into Super. They got Somali stunned up. It's taking quite an extensive amount of damage. He is going to drop. The Rec Room's going to fly, but Fear is just working through the lean, and now it's FY's turn, and he's going to rotate right onto Super. Fear just doesn't care about damage, and Aoi now rotating in is going to be finding another kill on the Dragon Knight, and wow. Fear just showing off his tankiness there. Gotta make sure that my voice is loud enough. Or not my voice, the in-game sound. Because I don't really like broadcasts where the in-game audio is too low. That actually annoys me a bit. Rocket Flame. Hold on. How much damage is that compared to the Spiderlings? Okay, Spiderlings are 450. Okay. Does that actually increase? Oh, Universe is in trouble. It's going to make it out. With barely any HP to boot. Holy hell. Spiderlings. Nope, it's not determined. But regardless. Shadow Fiend. AK Somali. Looks like he's actually working his way towards a butterfly. That would not be half that bad of a pickup. Give him even more mobility, like he needs anymore, but it's gonna give him more mobility and gonna force Hao to buy that MKB, which he cannot afford at this point. Like, his farm is not very good. It's 147, whereas just holy hell, Somali. The amount of farm that this Shadow Fiend is sitting on right now. He's sitting at 260 last hits. That is more than 10 last hits per minute. That's crazy. Like, that is seriously crazy. His GPM currently is about 600. His net worth despite having died twice, is 1326 minutes. And now they're going to be smoking up. Probably going to be rotating towards mid. And they gotta know. No, they're going into Roshan. Do they have the medallion? I don't think they need it. Universe going to be sitting off to the side here. They got the ward down, but it's a bit off to the late side. Spiderling is going to be crawling into the pit, going to be scouting out, but there's not a whole lot they can do about it. The rotation is not going to be on time. And the age is just going to go the way of Somali. Might rotate back down south. Ice, ice, ice. He's sitting down there. They're going to scout him out. They got the dust on him. Beautiful dust out by Universe. They're going to find him. And that's one dead spider. Arachnophobes all over the world. You, my friends, have been blessed by AOE 2000. Kill it with fire, he said. And kill it with fire he shall be. PPD? Urn of Shadows. Basically, there's not a whole lot to say about this PPD Dazzle. He's just been wherever he needs to be. Like, there's not a whole lot to complain about, and likewise with Aoi's Lion. Like, he's taken 2 kills and 4 assists so far. Hasn't actually died. The one who's died the most is Somali, and that's the only one that ViCi have been able to bring down. And that's just because he's been playing so aggressively, but the amount of farm that he has just makes sure that he doesn't have to worry about dying all that much. And as long as Fear stays alive, he's gonna take over the game in case... Oh, hold on, they're gonna be finding somebody down the bottom lane. That was How. He's sitting inside the cogs. Has popped the BKB, and Call Down gone to waste. And now Somali, he's going to be going right in. Requiem is going to fly. Super, not really going to be taking any damage. He's got the BKB out and going. Fear, going to dive deep, and they are going to find the FY. And this could very, very much be... No, they're not even going to be caring about the bottom lane tower. I think they want to go straight mid. There is no Call Down and no Dragon Form. They only got the Hunger and Fenrir's ult. They don't have Hookshot though. Now Fingers just come off cooldown, so they could fight off the back of that. Super is now going to get Force Staff right into the Cox. Very, very well played by Universe. And they should be able to burn him down super effectively. Fear though is going to be eating a Laguna Blade straight to the face. PPD going to grave him up, so no problem handling the damage there. Somali has the Aegis, so not going to be a problem for him. Re-initiation in by Universe. It's going to be finding the Lina and Call Down again here. As Fear, he just doesn't care about damage. And likewise does Somali and EG. They're on the road to victory. Ice, ice, ice. No real damage. FY, he's sitting there as well. I think he wants to try to get him in a bad position. Universe. Oh, that wasn't on point with the cogs. It's going to be stealing the hook shot, but you don't really want FY to be hook shotting in. You want to have him off to the side, making sure those telekinesis gets pulled off, and yeah, it's not really an ideal spell to steal. As the bottom lane tower here is gonna go. FY, he's sitting off to the side. There goes the tier 2 and AG. Are they satisfied? I think so. They're just gonna starve out ViCi. As the net worth graph currently is just 15k. Like this, there has been no close games this series. This has either been EG or ViCi dominating. And the Ice Brute has just had 0 effect this game. Like, he usually has very, very good effect, but EG, they've just been accounting for him. Like, the casters, some of the casters, I did watch the pregame and the draft, casted by the proper casters beyond the summit. They did talk about the Broodmother, Sunrin especially. Talked about the Broodmother being like, why would they let the Broodmother through and ban out the Undying? Like, why would they give Ice one of his favorite heroes? This is exactly the reason. They had a game plan for Ice all along, and that was just shut down, shut down, shut down. Catch him out whenever he gets too ballsy, and they've been doing exactly that. I mean, he's 0-4-1 so far, and they had a solution, even for the How Gyrocopter. I mean, they let him get those early towers. They just let How play his game, like, right off the bat. And then they started initiating on him. Then they just rotated Somali in, and that was enough damage to bring him down. And
under attack.
Somali is gonna have to start replacing items soon. Gonna burn down the top tower here as
Top tower.
ViCi, they're looking to trade it for bottom. Fear has a haste rune, Somali has the double damage rune.
Bottom tower is under
And they might try to break high ground here.
Dire's top
As
tower
FY is
under
the only
attack.
the sole defender right now, backed up now by How and Super, but it's not the fight that they really want to take. They don't have the option. Super is gonna get caught by the cogs. The dragon is in a cage and he's gonna get burned down. Fear initiated upon now. He's in a bit of trouble. Not really too much though. It's only burned about half of his HP, and Somali is gonna be finding himself a double kill. Buyback on the Dragon Knight. And How, if he gets burnt down, they might as well just call it. He's gonna get found. Hook shot, or not exactly a hook shot, just the force staff into the cogs. Buyback from How. Fenrir's gonna drop as well. Triple kill for Somali, and I don't think there's anything that ViCi can do at this point. GG out from FY.
The tower is under
Wow. What a game. What a flipping game.
have fallen.
EG only gave up 2 kills
The tower is
that entire series, and or not that entire series, that entire game, and just crushed ViCi as they're now going to be progressing into the finals versus ViCi, or not versus ViCi, versus Secret. And yeah, I don't think that ViCi could have done it a whole lot differently. They just got outplayed by EG. They didn't get outdrafted, they just got outplayed. Like, Dragon Knight basically lost his mid lane big time. And the rotation out from Fear, rotating him onto the safe lane for or the off lane for a little while, actually helped him out quite a lot. Like, he got a bit of farm down the bottom lane. He caught up to How as soon as he started making some weird rotations, like rotating onto the mid lane, for instance, via TP, where he should have just stayed down the bottom and farm. I think that cost him a lot. Like, How just making some weird rotations and ending up losing a lot of gold on that, which enabled Fear to farm even more. And when Aoi just started rotating and finding very, very good earth spikes, and once he started finding Ice as well, getting kills on him, then the game was pretty much over. Like, when you shut down Ice on his Broodmother, it's going to be difficult to come back. I don't think there was any way that neither How, Super, or Ice could have carried this team to victory, as Somali, Fear, and Universe on this, once again, beautiful clockwork. They just got outplayed, like, completely. I don't think there's a whole lot that they could have done differently. But regardless, hopefully you enjoyed the cast, despite the fact that I tend to try not to cast stomps, but I didn't expect the game to go 21-2. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and enjoy the grand finals. Please do go ahead and watch it. It's gonna be epic. $270,000 in prize pool, as far as I know. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see y'all hopefully next time. Bye bye.